Dixie, that's a good puppy. That's a good girl. What's up, guys? Millennial Waterfowl back at you with another one. This morning, we are closing in on 11 days to opening day to shoot some ducks, get them teal on the ground, get some geese. And today, we're going to be talking a little bit about working with the puppy. As you guys can see, I've got myself a little yellow Labrador Retriever. She's American AKC registered, out of Oklahoma. She's just a little bit over 10 weeks old now. I've had her since the day she turned 8 weeks old is when I went down and picked her up. And she's been really, really great. Very affectionate, very loving little puppy. We've been on one, I guess you could call it a hunt or whatever. Basically, I took her out by the lake. There's a pretty good spot that's got quite a bit of woods back there, just to see if any doves were flying around, but mainly just to get her nose on the ground and get her out in the woods and get her familiar with staying close by me. And she didn't wander off very much at all. She pretty much stayed within 3 or 4 feet of either the left of me, the right of me, in front of me, or behind me. And I wasn't really keen on making her stay on the left side right off the bat. And I just, you want to break these things in. I have so much time, and that's what a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of people don't realize. I mean, you've got 15, 16, 14 years you're going to spend with this animal. You got all the time in the world. Now, that's no excuse to, teach something to do something wrong, but, I'm not going to get too upset. I'm just letting her kind of be herself for a minute and familiarize herself with everything. Her vision's getting better day by day, and she's starting to eat pretty good, and she's developing a little personality. Very affectionate puppy. But and some of the tips I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and I'm no expert, and I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I'm telling you some things that I've used that have worked. As far as just very generic, basic tips that you can either read on books, read online, watch other guys' pages, etc., etc. I mean, but these are kind of not necessarily just common sense things, but for me they were. Sit, no, obviously, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, how to get your pup to start running around and moving around and, playing little games with them and getting them to fetch. And a lot of times I find myself wanting her to do more and more and more and more and more. And you can't rush these things. There's so much time to develop a good working dog and a good family dog, a multi-purpose thing. But for her, she's very affectionate driven. Food really isn't, I don't know, like, she'll eat, and a lot of people say, well, if you hold some of their rations and you use that to work with them, that works too. There's tons of ways to skin the cat, folks. She's very affectionate driven. The tone and the voice that I use lets her know how I'm feeling about things. If I don't want her to do something, I just say no, and if she's doing something really bad, I say it louder. And I have not really, she's had accidents in the house, like every puppy has, and getting them on a regular schedule is probably one of the most crucial things that, takes time. Getting up and feeding her every day at the same time, or trying to feed her around the same time within the hour, it really helps. She eats twice a day. She eats 2 cups of dog food, puppy food. She drinks water like a fish, always drinking some water. And she gets her little pot belly every time she eats. But what I like to do with her is feed her early in the morning when I get up, and then take her out immediately. Sometimes I take her out before I feed her, sometimes I take her out after. I know that doesn't sound as consistent as it could possibly be, but it just depends on, her actions. If she's moving around real funny and, she's putting her nose down, that means she's got to go. And sometimes she don't even make it all the way down to the grass and she'll just pee on the concrete, and, I can't be upset with that because she's trying, but we are getting more consistent potty times, and that's probably one of the hardest things that new puppy owners, lab owners, hunting owners of dogs, is getting that potty stage broke down and getting them to not crap all over the house all day. And if you take them out 3 times a day at the most consistent time that you can, you know, whether that's in the morning and right at night, or if you got a chance to come home on your lunch break, or you know, the way you work from home, or your schedule works, take her out 3 times a day. I take her out in the morning, in the afternoon, and then at night. And for the last about week solid, she's starting to go consistently outside all those 3 times, whether it's number 1, number 2, or both. We're having way more consistency, because just the first couple of weeks it's just hard. I mean, you kennel train them. I kennel train her. I want her in her kennel. I want her eating. I want her back in her kennel, but I don't want her to go potty in it. You know, and you want to give them that affection and playtime, and you got to find the healthy balance. So we've been doing really good as far as getting a potty schedule down. That's the main thing we're working on. Getting to know her name, getting to know the tones that I'm using in my voice, and saying just normal things like no, or sit, or lay down, or here. You can't yell at the dog and get frustrated when you say a word, because they don't understand. You have to associate the word with something, you know, whether it's good or bad. But you got to stay consistent. You can't say no, here, or no, come over here, or no, get over here. That doesn't work. You have to say the same word every time. And if it doesn't work after the first couple of times, then you go get the dog and associate the word with an action. That way they start to develop everything. You don't have to put that much emotion into everything to just simplify everything. And folks, it's real easy. I mean, there's so many professionals out there that you can read some very, very, very good literature on how to train your dog and how to have really good, simple, little, easy